everyone. Thank you for coming to tonight's stream. And finally, my prison sentence is up. I am off of parole now because I have watched this movie 6 times. I have to watch it at 7. I'm going to cut Barb's fingers off.
No,
Barb.
you ain't.
So, we watched a little movie called Banshee of Inisherin. Also known as, what the fuck did I just watch the movie? Set during the waning years of the 1990s.
Right. Yeah, come on now.
Sorry. Cork 2020.
It's Colin Farrell's Magnum Opus.
Magnum Opus.
It literally was. It's Colin Farrell's...
After the stream, speaking of Colin Farrell, I got something to tell you guys after this.
Awesome. It's Colin Farrell's I Need Money, the movie.
Well, it won like Best Picture at the Golden Globe and the BAFTAs, for crying out loud.
And I feel like if you needed any
films do that, though.
I was saying, I feel like if you needed any better indicator that the BAFTAs and the Golden Globes are full of shit, this movie was it.
Academy Awards and all that. Oh gosh,
like a 96% critic score too.
Worst part is this ain't even in the top 10 of the worst things I've ever seen.
It's 7 of mine. So let me try and do a rundown of this movie. Set during the waning years of the Irish Civil War, 100 years ago, but still looks like it's in the 1800s for some reason. This guy with arguably special needs lives on an island.
You mean Park?
He lives in a field. Right?
You might as well use the names, you've heard them often enough.
Well, Inisherin, he lives on the island of Inisherin. And when he lives there in the same room as his sister, who I'm contending that they originally wrote them as husband and wife and just
I hope not.
Changed the word wife. Right? They were sleeping in the same room, Favre. Come on.
You saw the size of that house.
Yeah.
They weren't exactly rolling in money.
Favre's long, lonely winter nights pushing the beds together, you know.
I really don't think so.
And that donkey Jenny was his kid.
He certainly seemed to fucking think so.
So, his sister is arguably the only person with a brain on this island.
Yeah.
Every other person apart from... Yeah. Every other person on the island is arguably unlikable.
I love the fucking that moment later on where he's dull. She's like, you're all fucking dull.
Why you the what did the bartender do to you, Tato? I mean, come on.
The bartender is called Pat Short. He was in Father Ted, and his entire thing was, right, how are you? Where he had a shirt on that said, I killed JFK.
Oh, Christ.
And he had a shotgun. And whenever anyone would ask him, he'd shoot a seagull.
Wow.
That's what he did to me. I watched that show every week when I grew up. But
don't try to drink whiskey while you're laughing.
No.
The barman was serving his whole thing. Did he even leave the bar?
I never saw a scene.
Not that I have. No, he was.
We did not.
He was in the church in that one scene.
Oh yeah, he was at the church once, but other than that, we never saw him in or outside of the bar.
I don't know if he lived there or what.
So he was legally not allowed outside. Got it. So I'm just going to throw it open to him. What the fuck was this movie about?
Well, may I give you my initial impression? Because I'll
go to Gamer first and then over to
hey, ladies first.
Notwithstanding my original impression with the wrong era, I do believe it's a metaphor for the Irish Civil War.
Yeah.
And I based that on Colin Farrell's remark where he early in the film refers to the gunfire on the main, in Ireland.
Yeah.
And he's like, I wonder what it's all about. And I think the entire movie, and I know it's a stretch trying to read more into the movie than there is, but it speaks to that. The whole standoffish of the two central characters, not, the one not wanting to talk to Colin. I don't remember the name of the other actor. Not wanting to talk to Colin Farrell.
Brendan Grace.
Thank you. And to him wanting to keep coming back, that you kind of had disparate interests, and I quickly caught up on the Irish Civil War because I was familiar with it, but not intimately.
Yeah,
where you had the nationalist faction where it's split in two, and so you had one group of people that wanted independence, but with the British seal of approval, and then the other folks wanted the Irish independence as, no, we're Irish, damn it, and we're not nothing to do with the British, and so it's a very complicated conflict. And so you have factions in Ireland that we're no longer talking to each other. So I think that's where you get whether it's a strong metaphor or not, our two central characters no longer talking to each other, although be it one the impetus of the not talking to you anymore.
No, yeah, I completely get that.
It's just it just doesn't play out that way.
Mr. Martin, what's your take?
Well, yeah, that's what the oldest gamer said, but taking a little bit further, the whole metaphor about cutting off your own finger, so that was what was supposed to be going on, and that's what happened during the Irish Civil War. It was brother against brother, and that when they were hurting each other, they were hurting each other, they were actually hurting themselves. And he cut off his finger, was still trying to play the music, but the blood was going everywhere. So that's where they were going with all of this. That's what it's supposed to mean. However,
Jacob,
what's the donkey?
The British.
Well, the donkey's the innocents that were killed because of their conflict.
My innocence died when I saw the Garda naked, okay?
So the person who made this think all the innocent people that got killed were just donkeys?
Yeah,
maybe he just thought they were a bunch of jackasses.
Well, actually, a lot of the old Brotherhood, they all had nicknames like the Wolf, the Raven, the Hawk, the Donkey. My great grandfather, his nickname was the Jackson, or the Jack, which is a kind of a donkey. Then his brother was the minister, because at one stage, we lost him, but he'll be back. At one stage, he wanted to be a priest, right? So they called him the minister because he really knew the Bible. Plus, when he had a drink on him, he'd go off on speeches. But you get me, like, that's the type of nicknames they had. So I can absolutely see where you're coming from. On the other hand, he cut his fucking fingers off. That sheepdog. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it gives a whole new meaning to cut off your nose to spite your face.
Yeah,
literally.
Cut off your finger to spite your friend.
Yeah, like, so in the movie, Brendan Grace's character just turned around and he's like, "I'm done talking to Colin Farrell." Didn't give a reason why at all. Colin Farrell had two friends, right? One of them was arguably dumber than him, right? And the other one was Brendan Grace. So, so then Brendan, I'm gonna have to look up the character's name. Give me 1 second.
Which one?
What did the stupid lad?
That would be Powrick.
No, the dumber one.
The kid.
Oh, the kid. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, they barely ever say his name. I forget.
Yeah.
But
They're all dumb.
Yeah, they're all. Yeah.
Dominic.
The cop's son.
Dominic.
I can't think of his name. Yeah, Dominic. There you go.
At one point, and with going back to what Gamer Miss Martin were saying about the Irish Civil War, it's like, what news do you have from the other side of the island? We don't get any news from around your way over here.
Yeah, true.
Wow, Cozy. Hope everyone's having a better day than the people in this movie.
Yeah.
So it goes to an old Irish stereotype, right? That the shopkeeper post office woman, they did this in the Banshees of Inisherin and in Brooklyn, right? Which were made by the same-ish people, bar talent.
Yeah.
Right? In it, they both have the archetype of the shop woman, right? Now, the shop woman, she turns around and she's there and she's like, look, tell me what's going on. She's reading their letters. She's like, knows all the gossip, right? During the fight, you do see Colin Farrell, who Jacob is cosplaying as. When he went to get the milk money, right? He was in the shop and she's like, well, what's going on? I heard you're not talking. And he outed the Garda for being an abusive little shit. He's like, oh yeah, he bet his son with an iron. He's staying around my house. Like, that son, if you look at it, objectively, not with PTSD like all of us have from this movie. Every single person he liked, loved, or cared about was in some way fucked up. He was always trying to get after Padraig's sister, right? Siobhan. And she turned him down. Then his dad bet the shit out of him. And then he turned around and when I forget what Colin Farrell's plan was. But it was incredibly mean. Go ahead.
When he had realized that Colin had made friends and was teaching this music student from off the mainland, he picked him up while he was walking home and convinced him that his father had been killed by a bread truck.
But then turned around and said, no, he's going to make it. He's just been hit by a bread truck. And he's like, not again.
The common occurrence in Ireland.
Hey, those trucks are brutal.
I mean,
Bread truck.
absolutely.
Not a bread.
Man, the Tesco drivers these days are, God, they come through my window twice a week. But so he ended up, and I said to the guys, if I lived that far away from my friend, you'd never see me. If I had to walk that far away, I'd move into my house and never leave. Like, it's like everyone lived at one end of the island and they all walked back and forth. And I'm like, cars existed in this time, people.
Doesn't mean they had any.
Or get a bicycle at least.
Or something.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the carts.
They would literally have to ferry the cars over there, though.
Like, I don't think they would have cars because if the priest is only coming over twice or once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, because at the time, you think about it, the only way they were getting things over there was by much smaller boats. But they should have had. And I actually saw a couple of bicycles and nobody ever rode them.
Yeah. Which must have been hilarious if you think about it. When the priest got back to the mainland, it's like, Father, how'd it go? Right. I'm not going back.
Yeah, they're all insane.
You have to go back.
Yeah. There's this old woman so the woman is a small-time Irish actress, right? But she lived on the island in retirement, and her grandchild worked on the movie, right? So I think that she just was walking around the island and they just recorded her. Like, she appeared in the weirdest places.
Yes.
Well, yes, but the whole point was she was the Banshee. Yeah,
basically.
They even tell us Banshees don't scream anymore. They just sit back and let everyone else do the screaming.
Colin mentioned when they were talking about the song later on that he figured that nowadays Banshees didn't scream anymore. They just sat by and watched everyone else just die of misery, basically.
Yeah. Like, the actress's name is Sheila Finton, right? And the character's name, hold on, let me read the character's name. Mrs. McCormick.
All right.
Oh my God.
Mrs. McCormick.
So the priest's name. The priest. Do you want to hear what they have him listed as?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Priest.
That's it?
No way.
Not even Father Tim or Father Thomas. No.
Wow.
Priest.
Yeah, like the Gardaí had the Garda. We never heard his full name.
Not that
in
I'm
the movie.
aware of, anyway. We might have missed it, but
Pater Kierme. Yeah, I thought it was blind. No, that's his name, Kierme. This movie, okay, Bubba, you want to talk about the mental illness that was going on in the movie because you wanted to be petty.
Oh boy. You know, I just had a flashback to this.
Yeah.
Didn't he get full throttle of, not full throttle, full frontal of that one guy?
Yes, we did.
It just came into my head.
He's
the Banshee. I'm doing the chair.
Okay, so take away all the allegories or intended allegories, take away everything else. The simple, basic meat and potatoes plot, and I use that term very loosely, plot to this movie is that we have a man that we call him who has decided that his surroundings and this man who he has talked to, spoken to, has become his de facto best friend because of how isolated the community is, that he feels like Colin Farrell's character is holding him back creatively. He starts thinking about life. He starts thinking, about if he'll even be remembered 10 years after his death. He wants to make a mark on society, and he gets it in his mind that Colin Farrell's character is the reason that he cannot, that his creative juices won't flow.
Yeah, he claimed it was because he was too dull when he was literally holding him back from thinking or accomplishing anything.
Which I find odd because I do some of my best thinking when I'm playing Tetris and talking to friends, like things just pop into my mind, when I'm doing these mundane things or listening to other people talk about whatever they're talking about, but the point is I don't feel like yet I've gone insane. So, here we are. But, in this movie, we see Cullum who has, he's gone off the deep end here. But he's convinced he's the only sane one among them. And so he turns to this man. Yeah. Yes, but he's not thinking clearly. We are the viewer. He is the insane man. But anyway, the point is that there is a predominant theme up to a point where he finally, he tells him, he says, if you don't stop talking to me, I'm going to cut a finger off for every time you talk to me. And of course, he's a violinist, so that's very, very counterproductive. But he's writing this song that he does call, for the namesake of the movie, the Banshees of Inisherin. But he's writing this song, and Colin Farrell's character, as he tries every way in the world to fix this rift between them, thinking that it's something he did, like he goes through all the stages of denial. And the weird part about it is you'll notice, even as the rest of the fucking village are, going off, they're like, well, stop talking to him. They're blaming him for this other man's mental insanity, and just watching everything as it unfolds because their lives are that fucking boring.
And the other issue is that Colin is just fucked up in other ways. Like if you remember the scene after he came in there drunk and he was pissing at the policeman and Colin both.
Yeah.
And then Colin afterwards, like, that's the most interesting he's ever been.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I mean, that's still post him going overboard there,
Yeah,
I mean,
but I'm just saying, like, he goes back on that, and then he's doing other shit that's just encouraging him, like when he came and helped him up when the cop kicked the shit out of him.
Well, and then later on,
the cart, it's like, come on, man.
Well, and then later on, after the, after after he's got the song finished, and and he bursts into his door and starts talking to him, and he's talking to him like they talked when they were friends.
Yeah.
They're still friends. They're just, but the problem is that one man had a quiet descent into madness, and he drove the other man insane. And the thing is, but the thing is we go through the predominant part of that movie. Yes, the sister is, more sane than the rest because she has the good sense to leave. But as far as everyone else on that fucking island goes, the man who seems to be the simplest and dumbest among them is the only one thinking with actual logic. And that's the problem. He's logical to a fault. He keeps trying to, with his limited, thinking capacity, he's applying simple logic to everything that's going on in his surroundings. And the less it makes sense, the more it eats away at him. And he's, like I said, he goes through all the stages of denial and depression.
Yeah.
He's kind of dumb, but he's not like hopeless. So he's just like, it seems like he's approaching things from just a very simplistic point of view where things either make sense or they don't. Nuance is it seems like nuance is kind of lost on him.
Closer, he says.
Logic in a movie that had none.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, do the people in the bar really blame Colin Farrell's character? I think they're more protective of the other character because they know he's serious. And they're kind of turning it on Farrell's character. It's like, no, seriously, dude, stop talking to him because he's told you to cut off his finger. He's actually going to do it.
If they were doing the right thing, they would have called the mainland and had him institutionalized.
I mean,
they wouldn't have. There was no institutions.
I don't think there was.
Not in Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay, but regardless, there were other ways to stop it rather than yelling at the guy who's trying to be his friend. But that's not the point. The point
I was just ready to counterpoint that.
I appreciate that. Yeah. But like I said, the main point is that of course he talks to him. He finishes the song. He talks to him, and they have a nice friendly chat, a literally friendly chat. But then after he leaves, Colin cuts the rest of his fucking fingers off and goes and throws them at him.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
During that scene where he's like, that was the most interesting he'd ever been. Did he sound sad?
Yeah,
a little bit actually.
Oh yeah, yes. But the problem is that was those were his splashes of sanity and regret. Filling his mind. Intruding on his insanity, and that's just the way it goes. But the fact of the matter is as soon as the donkey chokes on Cullum's fingers,
spoilers,
and
spoilers,
and this, of course, Colin Farrell's character, I have a hard time pronouncing his name, but
it's Polrick.
Okay, but the point is that after his beloved donkey dies, and this is the donkey that he talks about, like he literally digs through this donkey's fecal matter to make sure he's healthy and not shitting out anything unhealthy. The point is
Esteban had to keep telling him not to bring the donkey.
Hold on, what did you just say? How did you say her name?
What? Man,
not all of us
I've got a fucking migraine.
All of us speak Irish potato. But the point is that he decides, he blames, and it is Colin's fault that the donkey's dead, like bar none. That is, and now he hates Colin as much as Colin detests him, and and of course both of these men. That they're still deep down, they're still friends, and this is where the allegory kicks in. So he decides, I'm going to go burn your house down. He tells him when he's going to do it, what hour he's going to do it, and he even takes his dog, with him. He even takes Cullum's dog with him so that the dog doesn't get hurt.
Looks back in the window.
Yep.
Yeah. And of course, the next day when he comes out to see his handiwork, and the dog runs back out onto the beach to see Cullum, he asks him and says, "Well, are we quits?" Yeah, my house makes us even. He goes, "If you'd stayed in it, we'd have been even."
We'd only be quits if you'd stayed in the house.
Yeah,
Oh shit!
and
Right.
and so that's how the movie ends, with no real resolution, and you get the distinct impression that they could either keep going or just give up. Both of them just
It's
not give a shit anymore.
open-ended,
But
I mean,
but the point is that by the end of it, both men are equally miserable.
yeah.
Well, if you
And
remember
so
before
we're-
she left, his sister was like, everyone's just stuck here being miserable and fucking dull.
No, you have to admit the best part of the movie was when she was turning around and it's like, "Come to the mainland before this escalates," as he's putting the kerosene onto the thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. He is reading. They're doing kind of a montage overdub of him getting ready to go burn another man's house down, while he's reading his sister's very sensible letter, and he writes her a letter back telling her, "No, this is my home. I'm not leaving." And but that's another point. Like, how many times do people who are completely sane, how many times do we get tethered to our misery? And so yes, there is a logic to this film, and it's now this might, you guys can be the judge. I might just be on the edge of insanity because I see so much logic in this film, but the point remains that there was an actual story. It wasn't a very good one. It was depressing as fuck. But
I still haven't hit the depression part. Still hasn't hit me.
Well, no, I mean, I laughed at all the shit that you laughed at. It's just when you've dealt with people that have these kind of issues, and obviously nothing quite that bad has happened, but movies are made, stories like this are made for extremes.
Well,
but when you've dealt with people, in your real life, like I have,
and
that have these kind of issues, you look at it, you do look at it, you start to not necessarily identify them with them, but identify them to people that you see that are similar to these characters.
Here's my take on that, because I have dealt with the same in my own family and in some extent with myself. I honestly, that just kind of made it hit even more kind of absurdly to me. But I think that's just kind of a matter of
it's meant to be a black comedy
experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, like when they are going around and everything, the character shift in Patrick afterwards, like after Jenny died, it's like, I think that they're going to keep going. And the way that the people in the pub were acting, like what you were saying, I do think maybe Brendan Grace's character, Colum, has done something like this before.
Oh,
maybe.
Good point.
Well, and bear in mind, he is significantly older. Yeah, he's about 15 years older than Padraig, so or however you pronounce it. But the point is he is about 15 years older than him. So there might be things that he doesn't know. That Colin Farrell's character doesn't know about.
Yeah, Bubba, if it's easier, his English name is Patrick, if that's easier for you.
Well, yes, but that doesn't sound exciting at all. That's fucking boring.
Well,
how dare you, sir, a saint and everything. I'm pointing the finger of judgment upon you.
I had to quote the movie. That was the opening was there, and I'm weak.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I have no resistance.
But Jacob, what did you think?
I
He's lost the will to live.
I guess I didn't see it as bad as y'all.
Oh, see, but that's the thing. I didn't see it as
makes
bad
sense.
per se.
Yeah.
If I'd seen it as bad, we wouldn't be here. It's the fourth time I've seen the damn movie.
It's entertaining in a weird way. Like, okay, some of the stuff
Yeah.
in it that I
Like, wanting
genuinely
to see what happens next.
Yeah. Like, what I thought was hilarious was I thought that even though your man had cut his fingers off, the faces on the music students, like, they were looking at each other like, what the fuck? Because he was there, like, Mr. Man,
Yeah.
what was he conducting the music?
Yes.
Yeah.
With his bloody
Off the
stump.
top of my head, I don't remember the scene. I understand. I
At
only
the
watched it
table.
once.
He was actually trying to conduct the music because he couldn't play it anymore.
Yeah, and his
understood.
hands
Yeah.
were bleeding all over the
All
music
over the
sheet.
table in the music.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he
that
was
keeps
like
with
moving.
the metaphor.
Yeah.
Yes, but I kept waiting for infection to set in and never gave us that.
Don't worry, it will.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have all died anyways. No, I mean,
Suicide.
I hear what you're saying, Jacob. My deal was it was supposed to be like a drama comedy, and I, sitting there with my mom. It's like, oh, let's watch an Irish movie for Christmas
A
time.
black.
It's a drama comedy, and it really was not. It was not.
Yeah,
what
next
I
time just watch
expected.
Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Oh,
Well,
God.
or
We
we like
did.
Waking Ned Divine, but I think that the previews and all that also did not properly characterize exactly what we were expecting.
No, they made it out to be like some sort of like magical Irish like locked away little secret type of movie. It's like time capsule. No, it's about a man who cuts his fingers off and chokes a donkey.
Yes, but let's keep in mind that it's still a better movie than The Last Jedi.
That ain't hard. That's a low
Well-
bar.
Well,
No, that's not
still,
hard.
it's true.
It is true. Objectively, that is true. Well-
But the funniest, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I noticed that for some reason, Colum keeps going to confession. It's like, why the hell are you going to confession? Because, confession is for somebody, hypothetically, that you're supposed to kind of get medicine for your
I have a
soul.
theory.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
okay.
He's going to take his own knife.
Okay. Oh, no, I'm
Well,
so
he did-
sorry. My
well, he
apologies
does-
to the chat.
He does keep asking him about his what was it he was calling it? Because I remember that the father asked him twice about how he was doing with his
His,
sorrow or something.
No,
Right.
but he was talking about the impure thoughts, and then he starts asking him if he's gay.
No, that was
Yeah.
later. Before that, he asked him about his sorrow or whatever it was.
It's melancholy,
Yeah, melancholy. There we go.
which was a clinical term back
So
then for depression.
basically. Yeah.
Question, yes.
Yes, so he was clearly depressed. I mean, he lived in Ireland in the 1920s. Like, so he would have seen the Civil War, World War One, right? He would have seen the Irish War of Independence. He would have lost a lot of people in his life. He saw, like, I'm just going to say, we don't know what his political stance is. For all we know, he could have been a diehard monarchist, right? So
God
he's
forbid.
watching, God forbid, but they did exist at the time,
Yeah, that's true.
right? So we could have seen, he could have been looking, go ahead.
Game
What
of-
were you
I
saying,
kept thinking he
Well,
was
I was
like,
going to say you were
is he
talking about how
secretly working
being
with the IRA.
good.
I was
Oh.
like-
Possibly.
and that the
But Gabriel-
people playing music are just like spreading information.
Oh.
No, no, not at that time. Hey, Gamer, what were you saying?
Oh, well, the whole confession thing. You got to remember, this is early 20th century Irish Catholicism.
Yeah.
So if the priest is only showing up once every 2 weeks, he's in confession immediately after Mass, and so my grandfather being an Irish Catholic, it was almost expected that you go to confession every week.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I had a grandfather that went to church every day, so that part didn't really throw me because
Torch.
it's very believable that he's in confession. So to Martin Muse's point, that why we see him there.
Damn it, Torsky.
I think it's just kind of looking. like I say, looking into his melancholy and everything else, but in and of itself, it was completely believable for me
Yeah.
that he's doing.
Oh yeah.
Just as an Irish Catholic. That.
Oh yeah.
that-
Oh no,
yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more about metaphorical.
Well, like if you
Oh, no, I
remember,
understand.
and like if you remember what he actually said to the priest after the confession, he's like, "What?" He's like, "I'm not going to forgive you." He's like, "Oh, well, then I guess if I die before then, I'm fucked." He's like, "Well, I guess you're fucked."
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, with those open wounds, he could.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but point well taken. However, I was annoyed by it. Is like you don't go to confession after mass for crying out loud. You go before. But
That was after.
Well, I mean, yes,
I
but
think that. Sorry.
and let's face it, with only one priest that they see every 2 weeks, they probably handled a good fair bit of them before mass and a good fair bit of them after.
Yeah, because he goes to burn his
Torch
incense and
what?
burn it at 2:00 in the afternoon. They're still in church when Colin Farrell's character walks out of the church. So it seems to be almost an all-day event. So
Yeah.
Ms. might be correct. You might have had some people in confession before mass and after mass because he's got to take care of the whole island.
True, because I'm assuming he's only there for so long before he goes
Right.
back to the mainland. And
So
Torsten, what point is there in me telling something that half the panel already knows?
So I had a great uncle who lived in the middle of back arse of nowhere, close to Ohio. Well, not really, but you get me. I was making an Ohio joke, but he lived in the back arse of nowhere. And when the priest would go to where he lived, right, to his little village, the confession it'd be on Sunday, and the mass would be Saturday night. So it was an all-day thing for confession.
Mm-hmm.
So that might not even be the same day.
Okay. I stand corrected. And also,
Yeah.
of course, I recall that people didn't always take communion every time they went to mass back then too.
Well, yeah, that only I think that came in after Vatican II.
Yeah. Well, it was
Torshi,
slowly getting there.
I never told any doctor any such thing.
What?
Not once.
Fake news.
Explain why you told your doctor that consuming various amounts of Irish whiskey it's not an addiction, it's part of his cultural heritage. I mean,
which part of my
fuels them?
cultural heritage? The Irish part, the Russian part, or the Italian part?
The French part, the part that doesn't exist.
There isn't
The
a French
the
part, so
Russian
it doesn't
part requires
exist.
vodka.
Vodka and red wine for the Italians. Chianti.
The problem is, like, I only drink red wine for health reasons because the doctor told me to. I don't even like it.
Oh, fancy pants. But no, but like the sister, I thought one of the most striking scenes, right?
The answer is yes.
Is when the sister was leaving. It reminded me of, like, I said this to the Farvand guys,
Mm.
and Gamer said this as well. It looked like she was going to heaven, right?
Yeah, well, you guys were making a lot of the jokes about the elves leaving Middle
Yeah, Lord of
Earth
the Rings.
too. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like she, go ahead.
I don't know
Were you gonna
which
say
one was
something,
going
Miss
ahead.
Martin? Miss
Oh, I
Martin.
was just
I-
going to say that. Well, that also fits with the metaphor. Is you're going to heaven because you're getting the hell away from hell. This island is hell, or the worst part of purgatory.
Like if you look at her color scheme, it was very dark dresses and brown jackets. Then she got her job letter. It became a red coat.
that bright jacket.
Yeah, and then when she was leaving, it became that bright yellow jacket. So
Mhm.
as she was going on, weirdly enough, it was like a demon becoming an angel like color scheme. It was like she was getting the light back into her, right? And she was like, the mainland, you got like so many like opportunities over here.
Yeah.
Forget
She was
the
the only
word.
bright object in that scene with that coat. Everything else was
Yeah,
brown.
exactly.
And but she was there in the 1920s, like let's just like say 1930s Irish style, 20s for like England and America. She was wearing a very fashionable look. But behind her in the scene, there was a woman going to the mainland with a shawl on her
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
who was younger than her.
Mm-hmm.
which is very interesting because I'm looking far too deep into this.
Yeah, you accuse me of finding meaning, man. You're off the cliff there, sir.
Well done. I'm actually starting to think this movie may not be complete garbage.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's watch it again.
Yeah. I paid $3.99 to rent it, and that was $72 too much.
Too much. Yeah.
But like, there was elements of the movie that I genuinely did not want to kill myself over. I mean,
I thought it was beautifully shot.
Yeah, the cinematography
was.
great.
Oh, the cinematography was fantastic.
Absolutely. But
Well,
weird
on the
question.
bright side, we know that Colin Farrell's character eventually leaves. He becomes a hitman with a target on his forehead.
Damn it.
I have a weird question for you. Did the pub look wet?
Yeah, kind of.
I assumed it was the dampness because they were on the edge of the ocean there.
Yeah, it was also the pub was like ancient. Like, I'm talking about, like, if you look at it, Mr. Martin, you've been here. You know those, I'm talking those ancient old pubs in Ireland.
I was like the
hell
fuckers that were
yeah.
around like the 1800s.
Yeah, I'm talking about the ones that are even older, right?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like one of those, like it was possibly built around 1500s, because it was all one bit of stone.
Right.
Yeah.
Inside.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like 15th century.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, that was the other thing with his sister. After they had that whole meltdown, when she corrected Colum about his rant about Mozart, that was funny.
Yeah, the 18th century, not the 17th century.
And he's like, yeah. Can we talk about the only guard on the island, PC Plot?
Oh God.
Is he worth anything?
Not really.
But that was the whole point. You know, that his son's growing up without a mother, doing everything for his abusive shithead father, and that father is the only source of actual authority besides the priest on the island.
Absolutely.
And then, like, when they spoiler, when they find the poor fucker at the end of the movie, then he decides he needs to cry about it.
Well, I suppose he regrets being naked so often in front of his son. Like, but if you remember, he hit him in the face with a kettle.
Mm-hmm.
But his son, when he realized, Patrick isn't what he thought he was, right?
And then she turned him down, and he literally he's like, there's my dreams ruined.
Exactly. So Siobhan turned him
back
down.
to what I was doing over here.
And I think that's
Jumping in the
genuinely when
water.
he killed himself, because he went over to the walk down on the little island, and that's where he was found. I mean, probably tried to swim away.
Well, but you notice there was foreshadowing. They had talked about how finding somebody in the lake like that earlier in the movie.
There'd be two deaths.
Yeah.
And we were all hoping there would be someone on the panel.
What? Oh my gosh, that got dark fast.
Oh, you'll get used to it.
Oh, don't worry. That panel member's not here anymore, but not for that reason.
I'm still here. But if you there's two deaths. Now I have a stupid question, right?
Okay.
Forget the realism. Do you think that the Banshee, Mrs. McCormack, actually had the sight?
Oh, absolutely. Too much.
I mean, maybe.
Too much that she said came true.
Well, yeah, because she was constantly around. She would just show up at random or just be there already.
Well, and
she,
it doesn't
like you
have.
said, she would just spout off things that would inevitably turn out to be true, even if they were vague at the time.
Well, and it doesn't have to be supernatural. She's just witnessed everything and has really good insight.
Not only that, remember when his sister was standing there on the shore, she was like beckoning her across the river.
Which that's what Banshees didn't do. Like they'd show up, they'd wail, they'd cry, and then someone would die.
Yes, but bear in mind, this particular Banshee had taken a liking to the sister as she came and visited with her.
I just
Wow,
remembered something really stupid.
What?
Do you remember when he was shown his last fingers at the door?
Mm-hmm.
Right? He took them out of the pocket where the hand was cut off of. Right?
Like, how would he have done that?
Like he was reaching around and
Yeah,
he
he
was
reached over and he had to move the jacket up. I mean, he at least
Yeah.
did it right.
Yeah,
But I'm telling you, if I'm sitting there with the prosthetic hand and the fake blood coming out, it would have been impossible. I would have been throwing like bloody gang signs and like pointing it at people, and like it would have been freaking hilarious.
Like I could imagine us sitting there, like we were going over a line. Say for talk's sake, I'm talking with Farham and Miss Martin, and then Bubba just comes up and starts rubbing us on the face.
Look, I'm telling you, there is no way that half of those scenes got done in one take. It's just they were trying to sell it so seriously they never let anybody see the outtakes.
The two barmen, like Pat Short and the man outside, are professional comedians for the last like 30 years. Right? Then you have the Banshee. She's been in a lot of like Irish comedies. You have her in The Van, you have her in Snapper and things like that. Right? So there's a couple of comedians around that island.
I'd almost be guaranteed there was plenty of stupid crap that went on behind the scenes where they had to reshoot scenes because somebody screwed something up.
How many times do you think someone fell over?
On the bright side, the guy that played Colm, who's cutting his fingers off, was Mad Eye Moody in the Harry Potter series. So, yeah.
Do you think that's why he was limping?
Yeah. No, I think he was limping after that scene that went wrong in Gangs of New York, but still.
Oh.
So, yeah, like these type of movies I do like. Like, I do like looking at Irish history in movies because it's not very often that we get to see our country portrayed not tatty-too, tatty-doo. Like,
I can see myself watching this movie again. No, seriously.
No, I believe you. Like I said, I own the damn thing on disc.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but it wasn't completely offensive. You know what I mean?
Oh, I definitely plan on subjecting my family to this movie.
It's on the US Disney Plus.
It's on D+,
that's
really?
just terrible.
That's
in America, yeah.
Wait, what?
Apparently,
so I could watch it tomorrow night, is what you're saying, with the family? Hey, everybody gets together on Disney Plus.
Of all places for that to be.
Just be like, Dad, why you make me watch this? It's deeper meaning.
You're Irish, damn it. Watch it.
No,
Look at the donkey.
Yeah, I see your point, Potato Revan, because for one thing, you're right. A lot of people, especially Americans, don't know shit about Irish history. And of course, I'm very biased because I think it's very, very important. But or if they do, they only know about like the Troubles or something.
Well, the problem nowadays is look at what's become of Ireland these days. I think it's more important than ever to have someone having paid some attention to it.
Or you're like me, and you did pay attention, and you do know the history, and you'd still rather watch Darby O'Gill and the Little People or The Legend of the Leprechaun.
Wow.
I've never seen that movie.
Nah.
But as far as things like, well, Michael Collins, we've had.
It was Sean Connery's first movie.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's true.
But go ahead.
And most people don't know about the Brotherhood, or they don't know about the Easter Rising. And I think these things are very important because in our culture, at least here in America, like it or not, we're Americans. I'm an American. I don't even have a drop of Irish blood in me, but it is part of our heritage, as our European heritage. And one thing that we have learned as Americans is maybe not to make the mistakes of our people, because when we do look at often where people do have great grandmothers, like from Ireland or Italy or places like that, that you talk about the heritage, you talk about what happened, like, why did your people come over? Why did your people come over? And we all know that our First Amendment was directly in opposition to some of the stuff that the English were doing. And
Brown didn't like free speech.
No. I mean,
So-
I mean, and I was born here, but my grandmother was actually Irish.
yeah. Farv, you're entitled to Irish citizenship.
If only it wasn't such a mess right now.
No, but you'd still be able to get the passport and have it here. But yeah. But like, what? I forget what I was going to say. Oh, so
We were making a great point.
Mhm.
yeah, but they turned around. Like, if you look at the history and everything, there's a lot of like little family stories, right? That you look at it and you're like, what the hell? How the hell did we actually survive?
Whoa.
And I was talking to my cousin, and he said that he saw it somewhere, I forget where it was, right? But he turned around and he said someone was angry, right? Because their son, daughter, kid was going to give up, right? And they were Irish. And he said, what did we do? He turned around and he said, this guy went back to the Viking invasion. He said, the Vikings invaded. What did we do? We survived. He said, the Normans invaded. What did we do? We survived. We took over. He said, they took us over. We survived. The British took over, right? We survived. The famine came. We survived.
And it's a good
Right.
lesson. And I think even if you don't know everything about it, it's important to have some kind of value on your heritage.
It is. Like, I honestly think the outcome of the Irish, because if you look at like all of like you guys here, either like Irish descent or Irish adoption, because Miss Martin, you are like Irish adopted. Congratulations.
Yay.
It's the trademark is we are survivors. Because no matter what it'll do, we will like find ways to survive. Like either like go to America, like
Well, let's
create-
not forget the American Civil War was basically fought between new Irish immigrants and old Irish immigrants.
Yeah, that's
It
not
was.
entirely inaccurate. Oh my God, Jacob, really?
I love
actually,
it.
at the end of the American Civil War, an Irish general from either side, I forget their names, met up. Both of them used to be friends, called each other brothers, right? And it's like, from what I have seen, our lads have been trained. If we send them home, we can come home with an army. We could create the Fenian movement, right? The general from the winning side, the North, I forget, the Union,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the North.
He never responded. But what he did was he created the Fenian movement in Ireland, which led to the Brotherhood, which led to... So yeah, like it was causality. Like the Irish free went to America, went Civil War. It's like, hey, why don't we do this? Fuck you. Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway.
A wonderful
Like-
chain of events.
You know, Grand Old Sunday,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. No, it's true. Well, I'm sure
No,
you
it
know
is,
all
it
about
is.
how Irish saved Western civilization.
Yeah.
Or how the Irish, that is solid evidence as well. You know, what happened, what the monks all did, what they were doing, hanging around freezing to death. And they're like, oh, let's copy this. I mean, there's so much stuff. And I think that that's why some of us are so heartbroken to see what's happening right now in Ireland, because oh dear. But I do know people are fighting the good fight over there. I mean, I know it for a fact.
I'm
They're
just going to
trying.
say, I'm going to say this, and I would have said offline before, but I don't care anymore, right? So they cancelled Conor McGregor went over to visit your president Donald Trump, right?
Oh yeah,
And
I saw that. I saw.
He was
that.
talking about the immigration issues in Ireland. Now, there's a YouTuber, Garney or something like that. Follow me, I'm delicious, right? He
And
spoke
I normally
about
like him.
Yeah, he's after deleting his TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, everything. He's completely gone because the left have attacked him so hard.
Oh, he is still on our
God.
side. Never mind. I do like him.
Yeah.
I feel bad that he ran, but
He
you know.
had. Well, I just because is he still in Ireland? I can't recall.
Yes, he is.
That's why.
Like
Unfortunately.
they're after going for him, but there's 2 iPass centers going to be built, right?
Mhm.
Both of them tonight have been shut down. There was a major protest. If you look on Irish TikTok, Irish Twitter, Irish Facebook, the people are pissed off and they're standing up. Like, it's like this man, and then you had Rosie O'Donnell's fat ass on the Late Late Show complaining about Donald Trump, right? To a man from Northern Ireland. So a woman from America is coming over to complain about the American president to a man not from the Republic.
A spoiled rich woman from the freaking U.S. over there complaining to the Irish about a man that doesn't hardly make a fuck to them in their current situation.
No.
How uniquely Hollywood of her.
However, he did end the USAID stuff that was keeping their invasion centers open.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no matter what's going on, I think the Irish, we will survive this because we have to.
Yeah.
Like, and it's in all of us. Like, there's a lot.
It's disgusting because they're basically, at this point, your own government's acting like the damn British in the old days. They're trying to just wipe you out and put someone else in your place.
On Taoiseach, Micheál Martin, the Prime Minister, that's his official title, is on Taoiseach, turned around a few years ago when he was the Taoiseach beforehand. Yay. By the way, not elected either time.
Oh, fucking course.
And turned around and said, Ireland must give up on this backward idea of sovereignty. Ireland must give up on its primitive notions of what a country is. And we're
backward idea of sovereignty.
My gosh, what a
Get
traitor.
fucked. What a fucking...
Well, and didn't you tell me that they were trying to get away with some of the Irish language requirements, too?
They are trying to remove the Irish language requirements for being a guard. They have removed the height requirements. They removed the physical requirements. They're trying to remove the prayer from the beginning of the parliament. They turned around. They have they're basically the usual suspects. I'll just say to you.
Oh, fucking course.
Right, they're basically kissing their ass. They turned around and Brendan's bread, which is the best spread in Ireland. I'm not eating anymore. Turned around and said, "We are now 100% halal."
Are you fucking for real?
Oh.
Yeah. Bread.
Well, if you think about the elites, that's what they want. They want a subservient class of mixed race people.
This is... So you all saw the U.S. president for the St. Patrick's Day, right? Donald Trump and Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
this is the official Irish president photo for St. Patrick's Day. What do you notice?
That he's a fucking DEI fucking cunt.
Yeah, this is this year's St. Patrick's Day.
I saw that fucking shite excuse for a parade that they fucking had.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is what's going on.
God.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, someone noted that the celebrations that we had here in America, or even in our churches, like our mass, on our Sunday mass, loads of people, we're all celebrating, St. Patrick and talking about him and all that. That we are doing it sadly, more authentically and more traditionally than what we're seeing is being allowed in Ireland.
More's the sadness to that is when St. Patrick's Day was being held in Ireland, there was a massive protest of the fucking African immigrant population demanding that they give them free land because St. Patrick was a murderer.
Yeah.
What?
I'm not. Yeah. I wish I was making that shit up.
It's on Twitter. I can't show it at the moment, but I'll show you when we get off stream. They said they're now saying St. Patrick's a murderer. He committed genocide and all this stuff.
In Ireland.
No, now they're saying around the world.
What I mean is they were doing it in Ireland on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, they're now saying that the Irish have partaken in genocide, and there's a new BLM movement in Ireland where they're claiming that...
Which is fucking hilarious because BLM has lost all meaning here in the States where it caused the most trouble previously. Now they've just fucked off to another country.
Well, and of course, they're coming after the second most oppressed group in history next to the Jews.
Fucking right.
they turned around and they said that they won't have power unless they have land, unless they have political seats, and that the government should give it to them.
Yeah, they were out there after calling St. Patrick on the day of his celebration a murderer and genocidal, demanding free land so that they could be properly in a position of fucking power.
This can go on for another while. We've hit the hour. It's late enough
we're
for
at
a
the
lot
hour
of us.
mark.
I will say this. Apparently, the movie is a better allegory than any of us gave it credit for, because it did open up this conversation.
Yeah. I might have been converted here. I've seen the light. I might have to tell my mother, I take back my apology. It's a good movie. You're right. A movie that makes you think. It makes you think.
Yeah. But I'll start with Gamer and I'll work up to 5. Okay, Gamer, would you like to and coming up for you?
Tomorrow, I think we're going to do another remedial pirate stream with Internet Help Desk.
Potentially Wicked.
Oh, go ahead.
Potentially with Wicked as well. I just haven't heard back from him.
Oh, that'd be great. Trying to get some more videos posted on my site, theoldestgamerfl.1 on YouTube, and follow me on X at theoldestgamer1.
Fantastic. He does good stuff. Like, he's absolutely great at Fortnite. Like, I don't like the game, but I genuinely like his videos, which is absolutely you're doing absolutely fantastic stuff. Like, especially for new players.
Yeah, Trev threw some comments at me too, so no, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Miss Martin.
Yes.
Would you like to shield yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Sorry, I'm still not over that whole thing with the Lord of the Rings here, but I'll never get over. Actually, I'll never get over any of this. I think I'm traumatized for life. But yes, you can find me here at Miss Martin Musings, where I talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really, really ticks me off. Well, as you know, something ticks me off today because I've got some more things to be mad about. But I have a new video out today. It's from an excerpt from one of my essays that has on as a short on my channel about Snow White and the evil queen, rather, from Snow White and Narcissus, and how they're kind of compared in lore, as well as I have more Catholic explaining upcoming on Sundays. So it's probably going to be the Catholic explaining online trolling. So beware. Beware all ye trolls. Beware. And I've been doing the return of my Monday musings, my midday musings, and my morning musings. Started that back right when I started Miss Martin Musings back in 2020 during the crazy time. And so Monday through Thursday is the plan at 8 Central in the morning. So if you wouldn't mind maybe popping in and saying hi to me.
Of course.
Sometimes it's planned, sometimes it's not.
Yeah. Bubba, I'm going to let you wrap up at the end, okay?
All right, man.
Jacob?
Tuesday is X-Files. X-Files Tuesday on my show.
I love that avatar.
Episodes 7 and 8. Then I'll be on Roman's channel and we'll be talking The Thing.
Nice. Farv?
It's clobbering time.
Wait, did he mean The Thing, or did he mean like? Okay,
the other thing, the alien,
the one that came from space.
Yeah, the one that came from space.
You're not the one that went to space and then came back.
No, the one that came to space and turned into other people.
Yeah,
and turned into a head and crawled around.
Yeah.
But Farv? And you got coming up?
I run a channel called Farvithian Guard. It's mostly a gaming channel. Occasionally, we do dabble into politics if it's adjacent to gaming or entertainment. My brother is oftentimes on my channel. We just put up a co-op episode of Split Fiction to see how anybody liked it. So depending on what kind of input we get on that, we may do more of those as episodes. It depends on if anybody actually likes it or not. I've got, according to the poll so far, I'm going to probably be playing Doom 2016 on the Monday stream.
Okay.
unless it changes before then. It has before, so we'll see how the poll goes by Sunday night.
Doom's a good game, yeah.
And we have ongoing stuff. We have Sniper Elite, Resistance, Zenless Zone Zero. I'm doing the new plot line on it. We do co-op on The First Descendant with Kusri, Potato, and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And a few other things I kind of throw in between, like Mass Effect and Astrobot currently, and whatever else I happen to find interesting on the way. Sometime after next week, we will be doing several episodes of a game called Atomfall, which seems to be Rebellion, who are the guys who do the Sniper Elite games, answer to Fallout. So we're very interested to see how that goes because it looks very, very intriguing.
Nice. So, would you like to tell about your book?
I have my first book. Excuse me, sorry. Whiskey. I have my first book, the Farvithia Chronicle, which is what my channel's named after, is out on Amazon in hardcover and ebook. The sequel is finished, but it's in the final page layout, which is taking a little longer because my brother and I have been really busy with real life bullshit we've been kind of dealing with. So the page layout is taking longer than predicted. Once the page layout's done, then it'll go into publishing. I should have it hopefully ready within a week to 2 weeks of going through the publishing process. I'm hoping in a couple of months, just depending on how long it takes for the page layout for the sequel to be out.
But he has one available now over on Instagram. No, over on Amazon. Sorry, it's late. I'm stupid. Over on Amazon. So yeah, go check that out. The Forfeiting Chronicles. Bubba, you want to round us out?
Yes. Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and everything in between. Oh, wait, we don't have to say that anymore. Just remember, do not let your pets choke on severed body parts. Good night.
I'm very careful. I keep them all away from the cats.
But yeah, so guys, I would like to thank absolutely everyone for coming to watch us tonight. Check us out tomorrow as we try to break my ship again.
Try.
Okay, we'll succeed.
How many rescue missions will we have tomorrow? Tune in to find out.
God.
Last stream we had 2, so that wasn't their worst. So everyone, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe. Go check these other fine folks out. Good night, God bless, and remember, fuck the EU.